So, David, thanks for joining us. Lovely to see you again.
Hey Johnny, it's
Um,
great to be back. Great to be back down on the south coast again.
Sum up your season at Portsmouth.
Pure magic. To be honest, it was probably the best year I've had in football. It was the most enjoyable year I've had in football for numerous reasons. One of them was the main reason was that it was coming, I suppose, to the twilight years of my career, and we'd managed to successfully win the championship. And it was a difficult season. You know, there was high expectations, and from such a big club and being in League Two, so that was a great achievement. Keeping nearly 20 clean sheets, keeping 19 clean sheets was a great achievement. But just for the size of the club, getting carted off the pitch that day, it was something that will live long in my memories, and I think it's etched in my heart.
It was a big club you were coming to, but did you think it was a promotion winning side?
Yeah, absolutely. I came just the pre-season was probably 2 weeks out from the start of the season, and I think we played Bristol City in a friendly at Ashton Gate. Paul Cook had rang asking me would I be interested in coming down for the season, and I thought, wow, what a great chance, what a great opportunity to come and get playing at Portsmouth and to get promoted. That was my main ambition, my main dream. I'm thinking a club of Portsmouth size should definitely be challenging. And then when you look at the calibre of players that I'd actually had there, it was a no-brainer really. The likes of Gary Robbo, there was Michael Doyle, Noel Hunt, Enda Stevens. There was a great calibre of player, Ben Burgess or Burgess. So look, yeah, there was every chance that there was going to be a promotion at the end of it.
Because the season before, Pompey had used no less than 5 goalkeepers when they narrowly missed out. You were an ever-present. How key was that, do you feel?
One of the biggest things for a goalkeeper is to bring consistency, and that level of perseverance I always had. That always kind of built my performance and built my reputation as a keeper. But then that level of consistency that I always kind of modelled myself on, kept me in the team and kept the side in competitive games and fixtures and stuff. So I always set a target that if I could get 16 to 18 clean sheets in a season, that's a relatively good year. I'd always aim to get 20. And I nearly got to the 20. I was unlucky, but for me, it was a huge part in terms of giving that stability to the club, especially after the tumultuous seasons that they had. I think 5 years in that division, and you could feel the pain and the hurt from the fans and everyone involved that they were desperate to get out of the league. So for me, it was about coming in and giving that, I suppose, experience and that level of stability that people can realise that. I think Brian Clough used to mould all his teams on his goalkeeper first. Great Peter Shilton, and a lot of great clubs have always had good goalkeepers that they can build that foundation and build that pillar right up through the spine of the team. So by me coming in and just through my experience of many various different leagues and my international experience, I definitely think it kind of bolstered the squad and gave the team a lift.
And you had Christian Burgess in front of you, who played 44 games.
Yeah, Burgess was magnificent. I thought he was fantastic. And Clarkey, the two of them as a pairing, it worked really, really well together. We had our rough moments. We had our few words, but it was all done in the team, in the spirit of the game and the spirit of winning. And like that, I think we enjoyed working with each other, and we both realised that what we needed from as a pairing from me and the two centre halves, as well as the fullbacks, whether it was Evo or Enda Stevens on the left, and quickly and we formed a solid unit that we didn't concede many goals.
You'd have to be quite brave to have a few words with you, although you were never short in coming forward, were you?
I was known to have a few words, yeah, but I'm a different animal now.
What was it like playing under Paul Cook?
Paul Cook was very good. It was a really enjoyable time. He's an excellent coach, and his shape and format of the teams was really enjoyable to play under. And he tried to play, even though it was League Two at the time, but we played some smashing stuff. And I loved the format of 4-2-3-1. I think it at that time in football, it suited a lot of the players that were in the team, and it made us very, very solid, but yet it made us very open and attacking. And when he set up the team, he had that kind of box four in front, as you said, Burgess and Clark, and then Doyle and Rosie, or one other midfielder that came in and moulded that kind of shell, that armour that kept the team protected. And it allowed the freedom then of the fullbacks and Carl Baker and Benno and them to go and run riot and stuff. So we worked on it very, very intensely on the training ground, and it managed to work. And as you said, coming towards the end of the season, we just got stronger and stronger. And working with Cookie was certainly a character, and he was great fun to play under. But yeah, he still knew his football extremely, extremely well.
Difficult to look back on a season like that and say there were downs, but there were downs, weren't there, as well as ups?
Yeah, there's every season there's downs, and to be honest, I look at my whole career as well as that season, and there's more downs than there is ups, and that's just the nature of football. And that's when the team spirit comes in, and you get a good group of players together. And like that, we did form a great squad of players, and even on the Fridays, there was always our coffee days in coffee shops where 10 or 12 players would take down for a coffee and just a bit of a slice of cake, and just get that team bond and that camaraderie going, and just to prepare us for the game on the Saturday. And it seemed to work. It seemed to have gelled the team together and gelled the boys together. So it's a huge part of the game.
But you came good at the right time. You lost at home to Crewe, which was a bit of a shock. But then from Crawley onwards, you didn't really look back, did you?
No, we didn't. We performed very well that night up in, I think it was a Tuesday night in Crawley. Is that the one you're talking about? Yeah. It was a great team performance, and like that, we just kicked on. Then we just got into our groove and got into gear and kicked on. And that's normally what you get with the better sides in divisions and stuff. It comes, the longer the season goes on, the better they get. And it was certainly the case with us. The start of the season was a bit mixed. It was a bit up and down. And we always felt coming towards the tail end of the season that we would come strong and we would come good. And it's amazing how the end of the season finished, that we needed two teams. We needed Plymouth to draw, or Plymouth to lose, and Doncaster to draw or something. And then all of a sudden we win, and it worked out, and we win the league, which was absolutely spectacular. It was amazing that it actually happened.
Yeah, I mean, you go into that game and you're almost third favourites out of three. So did you have any thoughts that you might come away as the champions?
Yeah, I had a strange feeling, and I was one that probably throughout that season felt that we would win the league. Even having chats with Michael Doyle and Robbo and the more senior lads in the team, I always felt that we would go on to win the league. And thankfully, that those feelings and that intuition paid off, and we did go on to win the league. But I did feel going into the last game that, Doncaster a tough game, Plymouth had a tough game, and we had already been promoted, so there was total freedom on us. And the carnival season, or the carnival game, Fratton Park, where there was blow up balloons and there was all sorts. It was a great atmosphere, and we performed very well that day. The only thing we conceded late on, but once it came over the tannoy that Plymouth were drawn and Doncaster were losing, or whatever way that worked out at the time, it was it was insane. It was crazy that it came up to that way.
I mean, you're standing in the goal with 10 minutes to go. You might have as well had your deck chair out there. Are you aware of what's going on and where it's going on?
Yeah, absolutely. And that was. I'm always one to kind of have my finger on the pulse and to find out, whether it's finding off a ball boy or finding off the coaches or people in the stand or whatever. I'd always be behind the goal and collecting a ball, or if I'd go get a goal kick or get a ball for a throw in, I'm all straight over, checking out with the fans and interacting with them and having a bit of fun with them as well. Yeah, so I'm always keen to find out what we need to do or what we don't need to do.
There were talks that the players had a meeting between themselves after that Crewe defeat. How true was that, and how much of an influence was it, if you did?
Yeah, there was. I suppose there was so many times throughout that season where we did have some pretty frank discussions and pretty open and honest dialogue, just in terms of how we were performing as a team and how we were performing as a group. And there was definitely enough people in there that was very vocal in terms of driving it. Whether it was Michael Doyle, the skipper, or as you said, even some of the younger lads used to chip in. So we always felt that, you know, there was times in the season where we underperformed and we didn't do ourselves justice. And oftentimes it was difficult as well, because every game was like a cup final for us. Every team that comes to Portsmouth, they always want to beat Portsmouth. They always want to, you know, it's a biggest game on the calendar, probably in the fixtures of the lower leagues, that they're thinking, right, we're going to go here in front of a good crowd, good team performance, and they raise their games. So you're battling against that every week as well, like, you know. So as a player with Portsmouth, you do have to be on it every game and every week, because if you're off it ever so slightly, you get found out and you get beat. And that happened a few times earlier on in the season, but as the season went on, like that, we grew in confidence, we grew in sharpness, and we just seemed to bond it and gel and a whole lot better. So the camaraderie, and as I said, the team spirit was extremely high, and we all wanted to achieve the same thing. And it showed the hunger of this team and the squad, that we weren't just, you know, resting on the fact that we got promoted. We wanted to go up as champions, because we did feel we were the best team in the league, which we were.
So if I say to you, Notts County where you won promotion, or Cheltenham where you won the league, which one sticks out for you?
They both actually stick out. They both really, really stick out. One that sticks out for me is I think it was a 6,000 we took with us up to Notts County, which was absolutely insane. And then just the sheer relief and the pitch invasion at Notts County. I've never witnessed that or been part of that before, where an away team has a pitch invasion, and we're, you know, paroled out to the fans up in their stand and stuff. And it was a lovely gesture for Notts County that they allowed that to happen. And that was amazing. It was just like that as well. I'd come down, my mission was to get promoted, and that was one box checked. But still, I wasn't content in that. I wanted to win the championship. So to drive it on for the remaining few weeks was still a bit of a challenge, to get mindsets right and get people back on the game, that there's still games to be won here. But the way we did it on a lovely sunny day in Portsmouth, and a full house, and as I said, it was like a carnival atmosphere, and playing extremely, extremely well, and to score 6 goals was magic. And one of the highlights, and like what you said, in terms of my career, was getting you know, head and shoulders carried off the pitch. Like it was such an amazing feeling. And must have been some quite strong blokes that picked you up there. Yeah, there was one or two, all right. Yeah, there was one or two. So they were they'd want to be, but yeah, no, it was an amazing time. It was class.
You've got to enjoy moments like that, because they don't come along too often, do they?
No. And in all the promotions that I've had, I haven't been carried off the pitch, so that was the first time. And as you said, it took a few big lumps to cart me off.
What about now? What are you doing now?
Yeah, while I was at Portsmouth, I enrolled into University of Portsmouth, studying executive coaching and personal development. So I started going down the tracks of coaching, mentoring, personal development, you know, around psychological and emotional well-being. And it was something that I struggled with when I played, and I felt, right, well, how can I pass on my knowledge and my wisdom from my playing days to the younger generations, or to fellow professionals or fellow pros. And that's not only within football, that's within the corporate world as well, whether I'm working with people on a one-to-one level, on a team level, on a leadership level, and workshops, or whatever that actually is. So that's where my natural progression, I felt it was going. So I opened up a company called Pathfinder Coaching and Development, and it's been a phenomenal couple of years since. You know, I've learned so much outside of football, but what football taught me, and how I can bring those skills in football into the high performance world, and helping people to maximize their potential and get rid of, you know, set their goals and set their targets and what they want to achieve with their careers, and then help them how they can actually attain those.
You played at Millwall for around 8 years, but is Portsmouth as ingrained into you because of the success you had here in just 1 year?
Yeah, 100%. I'm currently writing my book at the moment, and that's been an amazing few years, taking that experience on myself. And probably more than likely the last chapter will be finishing at Portsmouth, and that's how much it actually it meant to me at the time. And like what I said earlier, you know, that it's, you know, Portsmouth is etched in my heart, and it's such fond memories, and it's been such a special place. Considering I was meant to sign here many moons ago, Harry Redknapp came to meet me when I was at Barrytown when he was manager here. I went to West Ham instead, but as the saying goes, if it's meant to be, it won't pass you by. And thankfully, Portsmouth didn't pass me by, because it's an amazing club and something that my kids thoroughly enjoyed, and my family and my wife. And it was an amazing year for myself. And like that, all I can say is thanks to the fans and to the staff and to the members and to the club and everyone involved. You know, it was such a beautiful time in my career.
David, it's lovely to talk to you again and wander down yesteryear. Thanks for the memories.
Thanks a million, Johnny. Best wishes, yeah. Have a good season. And
Thank
best wishes to Portsmouth and all the fans this year. Hope you score.
Lovely.
Cheers.
Cheers, David.